Dave, Ryan Pepiot, you guys are using him in this opener situation.
Yep.
Is this more about getting Ferguson used to opening for potentially when he may want in October? What's the purpose of this?
Yeah, I think it's more driven by what's the best way, give Ryan the best opportunity to get as many outs in a ball game. Obviously, look at the top of their order, and we just felt that Fergie can take down that first inning, and then you can insert Ryan, and it gives them the best chance to do that.
This is the first time you guys have done this with Pepiot, so that's why I was wondering, what's the long-term view here? What are you trying to?
Well, he did it in the minors. He did it a handful of time in the minors, as far as coming in and having an opener for him.
Is this more about, though, like Ferguson getting?
No, not necessarily. You know, we could run that play out potentially if it makes sense. Obviously, we've done it last year, not as much this year. But I think that today's game, we just felt that to win today's game, the best chance was to do it this way.
Why haven't you done it as much this year? Is it the personnel? Is it the philosophy changing?
Personnel. I think that's probably who we have as far as starters and in the pen, and I just think it just makes, we have a lot of neutral guys as far as starters this year.
Dave, the bottom of the order, you have Gado, Taylor, Bellinger. What do you guys need to see out of those three guys kind of here over the next month? I mean, obviously the strikeouts will be kind of racking up those three guys.
Yeah, I think, obviously Joey in particular, I think the at-bats have been much better than the results have been for him. I think the quality of contact and then just the at-bat quality has been very good. I just want and expect that to continue versus right-handed pitching. I think with Chris, he's a guy that we've used versus lefties versus righties, and he's always been neutral. I think that the last couple nights we've seen some adjustments and some better at-bats, better quality of contact from him, which is really encouraging. And I think from Cody, I think the last 7 to 8, 9 days haven't been as good as it was for a minute there. And so just hoping that he can get back on track and take good at-bats. So, Trace has played his way into this equation, but ironically, he's doing considerably better versus right than left. So that's a different conversation. But I think that right now we have some good options, but I think it's just, you have a month left of baseball, and we're going to be looking each day to see how guys are performing.
You always talk about kind of every day an evaluation, kind of the competition out. So is that outfield group kind of at the forefront of things, and just trying to figure out what their role is?
I think if you look at our roster, that's fair, because we have 5 guys that can play the outfield, and Mookie's going to be out there every day, so then you've got 2 other spots. And so, guys all want the at-bats, but it's about performing, and so that's something that, I look at, the organization we look at every day.
Is it disconcerting that the production hasn't quite bounced back for Cody after that little reset in Milwaukee?
Yeah. I thought that he had some traction. I thought we could sustain it. But he's been working hard. So hopefully, this next month he can continue to get better and take some good at-bats and gain some traction again.
Dave, the talk has gotten louder about Cody and just how he kind of looks the same compared to, the results. And last year when he went into that survival mode as far as just changing things a little bit, do you see him having to default to what he was doing last October soon?
I think that's a better question for Cody. I know that he's up there every at bat competing. I think that if you can, the other question is if you're talking about the mechanics part and whether he widens out like he did in the postseason. I see now he's choking up on the bat. The angle of the at bat, that setup, You know, those are things that is a different discussion than Cody competing. There's never been Cody's not competing. So for me, I think he's competing as much as he is in the postseason. He's fighting for his life, trying to help us win ball games. But the mechanics part, Dave, I think is a different discussion that, you know, I think could be debated.
What is the bigger issue with him right now?
I think the bigger issue is he's missing pitches that he should handle. And I think that's when a guy struggles, that's what happens. I don't think he's chasing very much. I think he's looking over the baseball, but when he gets a pitch that he should move forward, he's not. And so then you start getting into tougher counts.
When you're missing pitches like he is that sort of his body is not what it used to be? Is it mechanics? What is that's not allowing him to get to those pitches?
I think it's all of the above. I think, you know, you're expecting, you see a ball, you're expecting to square it up and you don't, and you know, it could be a mechanical thing, it could be a mind thing, it could be a body thing. So, you know, you only have a short amount of time to make a decision and then, you know, move the ball forward. So it's a combination of things. So, but like I said, my solace, my peace is that he's busting his tail every day trying to get better.
Dave,
Dave, your thoughts,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
your thoughts on this pitchers and how you guys have really, you know, just weathered the storm. There's so many injuries. What this team has been able to do, and then sort of balancing that out with 30 games left and trying to get some of these guys like Bridal Council and et cetera back before the postseason.
Yeah, it's I really commend the training staff, the coaches, the players themselves, because it's been not idyllic as far as the pitching staff and having guys miss time. But for us to kind of keep moving forward and preventing runs like we have at this clip is pretty remarkable. So I think for me, right now, it's managing the guys that we have and their workload. I think every game is important, but more important for me is as I look at the workload for each guy in the pen or starter, Julio, for example, pulling him after 6, which he could have went 7. Making sure Kimbrel pitched last night, making sure Trinan pitched, making sure Evan Phillips pitches tonight after 4 days off. Managing the workload to then get ready for Brewstar, Gonson coming back, Canely coming back, guys like that. So all that puzzle working, manipulating is certainly front of mind.
Yeah,
You've
but-
gotten to know,
What's that, Joe?
you've gotten to know Miguel Vargas a little bit now. What are your impressions of him?
He's a silent assassin, and I say that with the biggest compliment. He's got this youthful, young, boyish smile and disposition, but he is as tough as they come. He was raised, you know, in a baseball home. He knows the game inside and out. His baseball acumen is off the charts, and when he's in the batter's box, he thinks that he's the best option. And that confidence is pretty cool to see. But there's that humility there. So I'm excited to have him. He's earned it. And I expect him to have impact us in the short term and also in the long term. He should be wearing a Dodger uniform for a long time.
We're getting closer to mid-September. Do you have specific dates yet for Canely, Victor, Duffy?
No, I don't, Jack. I think that mid-September, we can kind of narrow that window, but it's still mid-September, yeah.
When do you expect Price back, and how long have you been talking about this move?
I don't know yet. I do commend David for grinding through being not healthy all year, never complaining about it. And so it just kind of came to a head in Miami. So I would say, middle of September.
Wisconsin trending up, just kind of.
Tony's going to play catch today, so we'll see how it goes.
Dave, you played with and against, managed a lot of great players. Are we fully appreciating what Mookie did last night? Superstar. I know he's not born to second base, but you just don't see players of that caliber make plays like he made in the 3rd inning last night and spark your offense. Do we fully appreciate what happened here last night?
I don't think so. And I think a little bit is because, Mookie looks like all of us, not very physical. He just looks normal as far as the body, but as far as the skill set, it's certainly supernatural. And his ability to come in there on the dirt and make a dazzling, fun play, pretty easy. And then to be able to kick back out to the outfield and be the best right fielder in baseball. And he's going to play second base tomorrow. And so to be able to do that and to do what he does in the batter's box, it's a pretty amazing season. It really is. If you're talking about, and I don't know all the statistics, but the runs created, the runs saved, and what he does on both sides of the baseball and on the bases, he's in a small elite group of player that, yeah.
Is he coming to you for more second base after last night?
You know what? I initiated this one, so I think he was happy that he didn't have to tap me on the shoulder this time.